right, guys. This might be one of the last times I'm casting on this map. We've got Dark on the top right side. It's the semi-finals of the KSL number 62 Korean StarCraft League, and ByuN in the bottom left. This is old patch, because this is one of those OSC tournaments where they're giving away points for the Oceanic StarCraft Championship League, so they won't be swapping to the new patch until it's fully released to maintain tournament integrity. Which is fine, because I actually enjoy seeing the old maps mixed in occasionally. And, Dark, what are you doing out here, bud? Dark, what is this? Is he doing hatch, pool, hatch, gasless on Dynasty? Oh my lord, okay. Dark's finally moved away from the gold base, ladies and gentlemen. He's gonna go take it, oh no, he's gonna take it as a third? Shh, Dave, no one cares, it's fine. Shh, it's all good. Dave being too nice as a caster, he's like, sorry guys, do I need to leave? You don't need to leave, it's fine. Oh, he's gonna, no, okay, he's taking the front, okay. We remember this build. He's done this build before, right, guys? This is the one where he goes Roach Hydra to defend ByuN's Marine tank push. And if he can secure the fourth, defend it with Roach Hydra, he'll go Roach Hydra Viper and just try to swarm over ByuN. So ByuN, he's going to go 1-Rax expand onto the gold into a 2-1-1 build. Defending this is really hard with Roaches because the Marines can drop across the back, then they can come down here, they can drop both sides. It's really hard to keep up with. Sorry, guys. Just checking my camera rotation speed there. I think I might have made it a little bit low today, but that's okay. Playing the PTR on new maps never really made sense to me, says Dirklord. Oh, for sure. It's the... We have only so many windows where our intern that we've smuggled into Blizzard and lives in the server cabinet is able to press a button and upload things for us due to Blizzard not caring about StarCraft. So basically, when the community has maps ready and balance changes, we have like one window where we can press the button. Like the intern can sneak out in the middle of the night when security is not in the building, press the button, update the servers with whatever we tell them to. And so we have to kind of test everything at once due to Blizzard being a small indie company that just can't afford to support the community, which is totally understandable. It makes sense, right? Roach Horn's coming in really early, so Dark is going to try and rally a Roach or Ravager down to try and deny the gold minerals. Doing this off a very low economy. Is he going to build one Roach, guys? If he builds one Roach and just one Roach, I'm going to laugh so hard. He is, isn't he? He's going back to droning. Dark is such a troll on this map, guys. It's such a meme, but the number of times that single Roach comes in, kills an SCV, and then they come over to defend it, and he just keeps looping around. He keeps running back to the bottom right corner, running back in over and over again. It's so annoying. And remember, Terran's not going to have medevacs for another minute and a half. The Marines will take forever to move around there, so even a single Roach this early could cause problems. Reaper sees this Roach, but ByuN's going to have his heart sink a little bit when he starts losing that mining on the gold base. Oh no, drone's going to go down. Okay, a little slow. Where are the queens, guys? What are his queens doing all the way out here? Okay, a little bit sloppy. Roach comes in, does not kill an SCV, but it forces those SCVs back to the main where they are massively oversaturated. And that's really, really nice start here for Dark. Now, he's building 3 Overlords before he's supply blocked. What? Oh, guys, Dark had his wheat bix this morning. He's woken up, he's had his coffee. I guess maybe his son, I guess his son's like 6 months old now or something, right? Maybe he's like actually sleeping through the night now, and Dark just had his first full night of uninterrupted sleep in like a year. This might actually be it. Uh-oh, Marines are going to catch him outside though. Dark not getting supply block, playing a really clean opening. He's like disrupting ByuN. Can't kill the Ravager because it has 5 armor while it's morphing. Once it's done morphing, it's vulnerable. But look at this micro from Dark, dude. Dark playing some really slick play. The Reaper did go down, by the way. But with Stim done, the Ravagers are like, oh god, run. He realizes he's not long for this world. Unfortunately, he changed targets, so he damages a lot of Marines, doesn't kill too many. At the end of the day, a Roach 2 Ravagers from mining time, 4 Marines and a Reaper, not the damage he was looking for. He's massively out on workers, 56 to 40 though, with no third command center started. So all you need to do is defend these 16 Marines, and you're looking great. Problem, ByuN can go kill him with these Marines, guys, especially if he catches Overlords as well. Dark is building drones and no Overlords right now. Dark, build Overlords. Dude, you do not have enough to defend this. He's droning and building a 4th hatchery. Dark, you know this is a 2-1-1. How are you droning right now? Any other player would lose from here because it's Dark. I wouldn't say it's game over, but it's crazy that he plays this greedy. He'll have 6 Overlords at once. I mean, he's just dead. He's dead to a supply block. This is a classic way Dark loses the game. Genius opening, really clever, weird opening, hard to read, annoying Roach micro into not building overlords for 3 minutes straight and just getting massive damage from these Marines. Good micro to run the drones away, trying to buy time. The Marines are kind of stimming themselves down. Queen Transfuse, pretty good, and he will force the pickup. I mean, Dark, as always, so good at microing his way out of taking critical damage. Just the engaging, pulling back, the engaging, pulling back, and these Marines stim one more time. It's going to put them deep down in the hit points. They're going to do it, but actually the Queens are going to deal with this. No! Oh my god, the joys of playing Dark, guys. You, honestly, no one is the master of defending a knife attack from a big grizzly bear while having their pants around their ankles. Like, if you guys ever want to go in the woods and you're worried about Bigfoot attacking you, take Dark with you. Bigfoot will be trying to yeet him, like, off a cliff, and he'll just be hopping around with his pants still wrapped around one leg, and he'll just be dodging its swipes, just fending it off, just casually, because that's just how Dark plays StarCraft. He leaves himself so open all the time to these terrible situations, and because of that, he's a master of figuring out how to manage them. It's so weird, but he's a perfect example of how putting yourself in bad situations constantly can make you more comfortable in them. Queens are getting wrecked. They will take out the medevac. He does have Roach Ravager here, but the tanks shut it down. He could keep piling those SCVs, but these Marines, their mobility, I mean, they don't have a way out. They know it's a one-way trip. They're just going to take as many drones with them as they can. And ByuN's micro looking sick, as per always. Marines do another stim, though, and good pullback. The Roaches do take care of that. ByuN's third base is now up. If the Ravagers were biling the workers, this might be okay. Without it, though, 57 workers to 59. ByuN's in a good spot. Hydra and Infestation Pit coming in. More drones coming in as well. What I love about this map, as bad as it is for Zerg vs. Terran, is how creative players like Dark, Raynor, Shin have got on this map. And I really feel like they've shown us that the map is very playable. And it's kind of funny because it's a frustrating map to play as a Zerg. Especially ZvP, I think it's just grossly imbalanced, but it's cool to see how creative players got in Zerg vs. Terran on this map and how they found ways to navigate it. Fourth command center starts up. Tanks in very safe positions. So I really like the way ByuN's just kind of knuckling down on insurance here. He doesn't even have a wall off to his main. He should definitely build some more depots there. Fifth hatchery going to be an easy snipe there. Dark doesn't even try to bide his time. Just like, yeah, cancel it. Take a hive, take the Hydra upgrades, and try to get back in position. Roach Ravager coming forward. 1 Roach for a Marine, 2 Roaches for 2 Marines. Good trades there. A Roach costs a total of 100 resources, a Marine only 50. So that's always going to be a nice trade there. Right now, 1,000 in favor of ByuN. But it's not like it's too crazy, right? 2-2 hasn't started for Terran. They're both on 1-1. Biles take down a medevac. Unnecessary fight there for ByuN. And +2 range starts for Dark. 2-2 actually at the same time as 2-2 for Terran. ByuN's still in a rough spot, but we've seen him in the past defend this push with like a few good blinding clouds, crush the army, and then just win the game. Right now, though, I think his supply is just a bit too low. If you're on Roach Ravager and you're down on supply versus Terran, that means your army cannot stand and swing with him. This is a 5th base. You don't need to defend this as Dark, but you need to give up and run away before you lose your Ravagers. Oh, 2 Ravagers going down immediately. Does get the other 3 back. 5th base needs to cancel. Dark's still got 4 bases, which should be okay. He's got Queens in the main, Roaches as well, but he needs time. Those Vipers are not out. The Hive's done with no Vipers here. He's kind of just stuck on defending Roach, Hydra, Ravager, and now Link Speed coming in as well, so that he can have something to absorb that tank fire. Looks like this base has to be given up. Dark pulling back to 3 bases. He's going to try and fight it. He feels like if he loses this base, he's too far behind in the long run. There is no way he has the numbers to defend this base. Equal upgrades on both sides, but 1 tank and a few Marines and Marauders for a mass of Roach Hydra. Drop sneaks by into the main base at the same time, ByuN being the sneaky boy that he is. And he's got a 4th planetary coming up behind this. 4th base, that is massive. Medevac does go down. At the same time, the Biostim's a bit far in front down here. You can get the hatchery. It's all worth it. But you don't want to leave these tanks unguarded. ByuN right now in danger of overcommitting. If he can get the hatchery. Oh, and he's going to get the hatchery. Nice play for ByuN. If you unsiege those tanks, pick them up and run away, there is no way to lose this game as ByuN. Staying here, though, is clearly a mistake. And he's going to lose all these tanks. Bit of a silly move there for ByuN. That seemed like a really obvious play, guys. The moment you have no Marines and Marauders guarding your tanks, they're very vulnerable. So a little bit sloppy there. Could have saved those 4 tanks. As it is, Viper's out, Roach Hydra, only 3 bases mining. Dark should be pretty dead in this game, but he's going to slowly add a Lurkers, trying to rebuild his 4th and 5th base. He's going to throw a Baneling Nest down in the mineral line. That's meant to be a Spore Crawler, guys, I'm pretty sure. There's no way he means to build a Baneling nest there. He cannot afford to go Banelings right now. Going Banelings right now is a very bad move, in my opinion. Cancels it and actually takes the Gas Geyser. There we go. 6th base on the gold base being rebuilt as well. Bio coming forward as 2-2 kicks in for both sides. Ghosts are on the way. 5th command center building. As I said, that 4th planetary's up. 8 barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport. 2 factories, actually. So double tank production. 8 barracks pumping Marine Marauder Ghost. And it's going to clean up that Queen potentially. Gets rid of a bit of the creep. It's going to branch to the south. Some of the Marine Marauder do take out the hatchery. Nice cancel. But not many medevacs with this army. You got to be a little cautious. Only 3 medevacs in this game. One has to wonder why ByuN's production. His production tab looks very empty, and it feels like he's second-guessing himself despite having a significant advantage. Like, it is really time to spend your money right now as ByuN. Dark is all in. If you just keep pumping army, you should have bigger army, better tech, better long game. But he's basically just saving his supply for ghosts and nothing else by the looks of it. And it's not the worst move, but it's not the best either. Remember, these are 2 supply ghosts. This is pre-patch. So this is going to be really weird to see how this goes. Bio coming forward. Snipe's trying to go down. Does get rid of some of the lurkers there. Blinding Clouds landing. Roach Hydra coming in from the north. Gets a few Blinding Clouds on the tanks. Roach Hydra angling is really nice here. And he hasn't been building any Marine Marauder to reinforce for the last minute and a half. Despite that, ByuN still is going to hold this position. And that spells disaster. I mean, if ByuN had kept building Marine Tank, this would have been super one-sided. But as it is, it's good enough. Holding that position is always bad for the Zerg because Terran has more army rallying across the map. He now chews out more Marines, more tanks, more Ghosts. And with all those extra command centers finishing, there's just no way Dark can hang on here. He's got a gold base just north of this as well that's super exposed. Ghosts do snipe down the Lurker. And does take damage, but it survives. Drones being pulled into the front line. Dark's just bleeding out. These 2 tanks in the south going to do A-okay. Hydras will get on top, but at what cost? Snipes on the Hydras. So many fall. That base up top barely mining. So the Bio pulls north. The Hydras have to defend it. Not going to be able to, though. Dark trying to move his Hydraling forward, and ByuN just has all the advantages here on Dynasty. Now the snipe goes down. Now the Hydra does fall. Going to take out the hatchery as well. GG, well played. If he didn't get supply blocked, he would just never lose. ByuN in the top right, sorry. Dark is who I'm talking about in the bottom left side now of Alcyon. I mean, imagine. I was like, oh no, he's not building Overlords. 30 seconds later, he still hadn't started building Overlords. And then the 2-1-1 hit. And he'd seen a lot of Marines that came out to defend behind the gold minerals. So that decision-making for Dark was definitely a bit of a blunder. When you play a loose style like him, very intuitive, figuring things out as he goes, it's not unusual. But it is definitely a bit of a bummer to see him get caught out with a build, which I think otherwise was a fantastic build. Chat says, Dark knows he has to make it fair for other players, otherwise he'd just win 100% of all tournaments. I agree. I don't know if Dark would have any world championships that he would have lost. I feel like he would have won them all, you know? Instead of being a one-time 2019 world champion, I feel like Dark would be like a 7-time world champion, man. Now, Alcyon's got the gold base down here, of course. I'm thinking about this map. 8 racks is so powerful down the middle. It's not really ByuN's flavor to push like that. I feel like ByuN often ends up going to like turtle late game styles on this map. I could be wrong though. Command center goes down on the natural. Reaper halfway done. Depot comes up there as well. Okay, so this is pretty chill opening for ByuN. Zero fear about pool first. He's not SCV scouting. He's going to go Reaper out on the map. I imagine we're going to see a 3 command center build. This looks like ByuN's just going to play standard. And I do think this map does tend to favor the Terran with those pushes through the watchtower. On the other hand, Dark is very good at Nidus swarming on this map. He's very good at going around the flanks and kind of catching you off guard. 4 Zerglings. I like that. Only 4 Zerglings. A lot of players build 6. Dark's trying to skimp on his early defenses. See if he loses a drone or a few Zerglings because of that. Oh, that's a bit slow on that drone pull, but that's okay. Nice. Nice circling micro, guys. Very nice circling micro. Ooh, he's got to get out of there now. Just run away. And great defense. That's why you don't need 6 circlings. Gets himself an extra drone. Takes no extra damage because of that. And that's just Dark showing that he is a very skillful Zerg player. Third hatchery coming in. He builds his Overlord. Third queen, then Overlord, then Ling Speed. I love it. Really nice opening build order for Dark. He's so famous for getting supply blocked on 36 in this matchup. You might think, oh, but look, he's supply blocked now. You're meant to be supply blocked for a few seconds, guys. He hits the supply block, Overlord pops out, and then bam, spends that on, of course, a few more drones. That's about as perfect as you can get on this opening. Now, we do have the third command center I talked about. Second gas comes in as well for ByuN, Starport, Tech Lab, and Hellions. So, straight up build orders for both sides so far. No curveballs just yet. But that, of course, could change in the blink of an eye, especially when Dark's playing. Oh, my lord. Reaper doesn't get this. What a crazy choice to dive in there. ByuN just sacrifices his Reaper trying to get a creep tumor. I guess he thought maybe he could kill the tumor and jump out this other side, but ends up not finding the value. The delayed Ling Speed, not going to be punished here as there's no early Hellion dive. Banshee starting. And the question is, when you hit 100 gas, do you start Cloak, or is this just going to be more of a defensive Banshee? It's got 100 gas. Let's find out. Stim or Cloak? Marine starts up. It's Stim. Okay, it's just going to be probably one defensive Banshee. I don't think he'll do anything else. So ByuN's just going to beeline towards the Marine part of the game. Expect him to go second and third barracks, double engineering bay, and then third and fourth gas. Sometimes he will get the third and fourth gas before the engineering bays. Because he's not making Cloak, he shouldn't need to do that. And he should be able to then go very quick fourth and fifth barracks. Just real mineral-focused build order. Yep, you can see he's already preparing the reactors for the second and third barracks. And the second one goes on the reactor. Third one goes here ready to swap over once it's finished building. Beautiful play. Very clean build order for ByuN as he sneaks a few Hellions out the left, just making sure there's no Ling run bys. Dark, on the other hand, has gone Lair, Baneliness, second gas. His third mineral line full of workers. Super solid build order and a very quick fourth base. We've all seen how Solar very rarely takes that fourth base before 5.5 minutes. Dark happy to take it at 4:40. That shows that Dark is always looking for advantages anywhere he can find it. And that's what makes him scary as a player. It says you need to do something. If you don't do something to Dark, he'll play greedier than you've ever seen before. Evo coming in. 2 more barracks, 2 more engineering bays coming forth. And should be seeing, like I said, third and fourth gas is up there. It actually came up before the engineering bays just out of habit. A bit of extra gas is never a problem, especially if you want to make combat shields as well. That third barracks should be swapping over. Fourth and fifth barracks will start up in a moment. And then we should be seeing, there we go, fourth and fifth barracks on the natural. So 1-1's actually ahead for Dark. That's really nice for him. That's actually pretty damn good. 2 Banshees coming in, but remember these are cloakless Banshees, and he actually lets the drones go right past him. That drone could take that gold base. It's not for the gold base, it's for the minerals! Oh, Dark is mining open his opponent's backdoor, guys. That is actually such a cool move. I love that move. Banshee's going to force Spore Crawlers, right? There's 3 Spores, lots of Queens, and Overseer, and you never even cloaked them. So that's kind of nice. ByuN's just doing that. Let's just use these defensively. That drone, look at him! Grabs the 5 minerals, starts coming home. I want to see ByuN and see if he notices this. Let's go to ByuN's camera. That drone is in vision right now. He sees it, and he's like... So it's kind of a shame that Dark didn't cue the drone to go back to the right side, because now this announces to ByuN, Ling run bys could hit your third base at any time. ByuN should absolutely be aware of that, and Banshees are watching for it. Only a single Zergling gets by. Yeah, he's definitely aware of it. He's aware of the threat. Uh-oh, Banshees taking damage. You don't want to lose them. Just pull them back to your third base and repair them at this point. You could use it to deny the gold for a bit longer, but I would really want to preserve those Banshees if I was playing in ByuN's shoes. Second factory goes down. He's got the armory coming up. Those extra reactors to get the 5 barracks production finished. Meanwhile, Dark has a 5th base, no macro hatchery. You might be thinking, isn't Dark the guy who rushes macro hatcheries? Normally, yes, because he's expanding so fast to a 4th and 5th base, he's decided to skip it. He's going insanely fast hive. So I imagine really quick Adrenal, really quick Vipers, maybe even teching to Ultralisks. And Ultras are, of course, a pretty well-rounded unit. 1-1 finishing for Zerg. He immediately starts +2 melee. Damn, that awareness of Dark. If he starts +2 Carapace soon, that'll be amazing. Carapace is the more important upgrade. We'll keep our eyes on it. There we go. He's already started it. Terran, on the other hand, 1-1 finishing. Armory finishes a few seconds later. Let's see how quick ByuN is on his upgrades. It's a very passive game, so both players, you can see, are really hitting their macro just right. Fourth command center's coming in fast. The factory on the reactor, on the second factory. Both sides are setting up for a big macro game. 6th, 7th, 8th barracks all going down as well as ByuN starts to pressure a little bit more fiercely. Hellbat's Marines, a single siege tank. Is he going to put the tank all the way over here? Wow, that's a very far forward push, guys. Ultra Cavern is on the way. No Vipers, no Spellcasters. Dark wants to play the A-move army. Right now, his army's a little small. He needs the Banelings to connect with those Hellbats. He's going to go for a big old surround. Nice move here for Dark. Lings need to kill the tank. They will do so. Banelings trying to get on top of those Marines. He gets a few of them. And ByuN does get wiped out here. Great fight for Dark, who's actually close to even on the units lost. Not something you see very often in this matchup. 6th, 7th, 8th barracks coming up. 4th command center going down. Double drop going down that right side as Dark heads towards the gold base. ByuN's going to have to try and do something to disrupt it. Chitinous plating coming in. Adrenal glands. Only 80 workers. Dark does not play on a heavy worker count, remember. He plays more focused around taking the correct fights and having enough army to take those fights. He's only now droning up to the low 80s, whereas a lot of players go into this stage, like Raynor, very commonly goes 95 workers if he's going to play this style. Dark wants to have those numbers available to him. Gives him some more aggressive potential that Raynor usually lacks. Oh, those Marines caught out, man. This is rough. Planetary's still not up. This is a problem for ByuN. Oh, the focus fire kind of gets him out of the worst part of the trouble. Does at least mean a lot of those Zerglings do go down, forcing that trade. Meanwhile, Lingbane tracking the drop in the south. Spore Crawlers, remember these are the old spores, only 15 damage a shot. And that double drop's going to go into the main base. Oh, my lord. Oh, my lord. Oh, my lord. Oh! Oh, wow. New Spore would have killed that medevac. Old Spore does not quite take it down. Marine Mine moving down that left side. We've got a hatchery up on this rich gas base. The Marine Mine just forcing the issue. ByuN sees no Banelings, and he says, let's fight, boy. But does end up losing a lot of Marines and Marauders. The Zerglings do okay because they have the 2-2 against the 1-1. 2-2 now finishes for ByuN. Gets himself a decent little engagement. And a bunch of Lingbane running around this map. Anabolic Synthesis coming in. That's going to give the Ultras a bit of movement speed off creep, of course. And that will be done in about a minute's time. 3 more command centers building. Vehicle weapons. I think ByuN might just be slowing the pace down and trying to weather the storm. I just don't see how he defends this wave. He's not maxed, and I think he's about to die. Dark's going for it, guys. Dark is up 20 army supply. Equal upgrades, but he's got Adrenal Glands and Ultras as well. The Bio holding the choke point really well, but that third base mineral line getting cleansed. So many SCVs going down. And you can see here the factory falling. Another command center goes down out front. Banelings on the left, smashing into some of the Marines and Marauders. Good pullbacks for ByuN, but I don't think he can hold the choke point. He does get a few Marines in on the other side. They might kill a base, but it doesn't matter. If you kill one base, if you lose everything at home. Bio comes in on that side as well. Dark's going to take some damage behind this. But ByuN doesn't just take damage. He gets his head chopped off, and Dark ties up the series 1-1. All right, guys, let's go command center down here for ByuN. Command center first, I should say, as we go into game 3. Dark in the top left side going hatch gas pool. We've been having a whole discussion about imbalance, letting it in, having more crazy map designs, and how a little bit of imbalance will creep in the more out there designs. But I really like games like Dynasty and maps like Dynasty that come in and introduce things. But you've got to be, once they get figured out how to abuse a certain map, like Crimson Court or Dynasty, like this last pool, we just need to rotate it a bit quicker. So, you know, my problem with this last season's map pool, like, I like Site Delta. I think this map's really good and generally plays out in quite an interesting and fair way because there's good movement, there's a good range of strategies. Like Site Delta, for me, I don't know what it is, spread out bases, interesting dynamic. It's just a good map. I don't know why. But then there's maps like Crimson Court, which I thought were really fun for like a few months. And then I thought got very boring after a certain amount of time. And I think that's the thing is with maps, they tend to get figured out quite quickly. And I think ones like Site Delta should basically be endlessly recycled through map pools where we can just we can phase this out and then bring it back in a year or two. So I think there should almost be a bunch of maps that have a variety of, like, obviously this would still be one of the more solid standard maps, Site Delta. But I think it adds, I've seen enough variety across all 3 matchups and really exciting games. Like, I would put Site Delta on my, like, S tier list of just maps that create interesting games. And we see it every series because it's also balanced. It's the rare map that's interesting gameplay and quite balanced, right? But I don't think you can just have maps like that. You also have maps that are more dangerous, like Dynasty or Post-Youth or Crimson Core, and mix them in. But, you know, don't have them sit around for like 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. And players are, you know, like, wow, ZvP win rate's insanely high on so-and-so map. And then it just sits there for another 6 months, and it either gets permanently vetoed by the other race, or it comes in only in the best of 5s and the best of 7s when they can't veto it. And it's, you know, it's just like, it's, you know, okay, it's too figured out at that point. But you see, like, Dynasty has gone through this really fun process in Zerg vs. Terran, where Zergs have been so creative in finding ways to make that map work for them. And I do think over time it's getting more and more Terran favored, which is why I'm like, cycle it out, give us a new map. But, like, it was fun watching and observing the players get so creative. And in general, creativity thrives in a restricted environment. I think Serral and his history of winning the very Terran-favored maps in Zerg vs. Terran, or, you know, has always been like a really interesting Serral stat, is he actually has a higher win rate on the very short rush distance, supposedly Terran-favored maps than he does sometimes on the bigger maps, which is crazy. But it's just like this thing where he gets really creative with his builds and really focused on stopping people. Guys, it's a Hellbat timing. Hellbat Banshee has recently been making a return, and I don't know why. I think it's because a lot of the Zergs are going double Evo chamber without a Baneley Nest. Dark, I think, is doing the same as he did before, though, where he just goes Lair, second gas, Baneley Nest, and then double Evo all around the same time. Baneley Nest should go down right now. He's got the 50 gas. Dark, where is that Baneley Nest? Armory's already halfway done. Where is that Baneley Nest? He's only on 7 queens. He's not building 9 queens, and he's not building a Baneley Nest until 4:30. Ooh, that might be a little late. This is a pretty quick Hellbat timing, guys. 8 Hellion, second Banshee coming out. First Banshee's already here. He's going to try and fly that into the natural. This could be a killing move. Dude, he might win this series right here. Dark either pulls off some magic right now, or he is screwed. He's put down so many creep tumors. Guys, he's put 7 creep tumors down. 1, 2, 3, 4 active creep tumors and 1 in the main. That's so much. Oh my god, he has so few transfuse energy. He doesn't have any transfuses. He was a bit too greedy. Banshee's in the back of the natural, manages to get a drone. He does pull the drones away, but oh no, the queens. Run, run, run. Those queens cannot stand and fight with these Hellbats. But wait, Dark with God Micro spreads the queens. The Lings get us around, and it doesn't matter. He was quite greedy, but yeah, Hellbat Banshee's bad. Okay, good. I hear Lambo's voice in my head. He's like, yeah, this build just isn't good. And I'm like, well, maybe in this situation, you know, playing devil's advocate. And he's like, no, it's just bad. And I'm like, no, but maybe. And then I see that, and I'm like, yeah, Dark was kind of caught with his pants down. He microed well. He did build an 8th and 9th queen, to be fair. So he did build 2 more queens, but he didn't really have any transfuse. Just microed his queens back, spread him out a bit. I guess just 8 Hellbats on their own just doesn't have a lot of oomph to it, does it? And the Banshees are making a play, though. Oh, focus the drones. If he shift clicks the drones, he might get some damage. But, oh, the Hellbat's already going down. Only gets 1 drone there. And the Banshee in the main, I think, already got killed. Indeed, it did. So even with the 9 drone kills, I don't think that's enough, because this is a pretty big commitment. Like, yes, one's on the way for Terran. But look at that. Dark's going to go Spire, double Evo chamber now. Trying to take advantage of this. Queen's coming out there. Overseer as well. Run to the left, run to the left, run to the left. He runs to the right. No, ByuN. Yeah, I like I said, I don't know why Hellbat Banshees come back in the meta. It feels like one of the weaker timings. I kind of feel like the Marine Hellbat timing. That old school one, or Marine, or maybe even Battlecruiser Hellbat. Hellbat Thor off of the mech opening is so old school that it kind of surprises people sometimes. But this one, Hellbat Banshee, I always thought has been one of the weaker timings, and definitely didn't give me any confidence in it there, but Dark, always good on his toes, good at reacting under the heat of it all. Hellbat timings are such a meme at pro level. People got much better at it over the years. I mean, you can find, I have a guide in like from 2014 or something, maybe 2015 on my YouTube explaining how to micro against it and how you just got to pull your queens back in different directions and you should be fine as long as you don't headbutt your Zerglings into the Hellbats. But it's kind of funny to see how many varieties we've seen over the years, see them come and go. Hero Marine famously knocked Serral out of a tournament in 2022 with a 3cc into very delayed Hellbat timing with Marauders. The Marauder timing's been probably the one that's had the most play over the years. It's scary for Dark, though. Having that base cancelled, this army's on the front. It's just like, I don't think he's under enough pressure to care. And I think ByuN's best move is probably to go home. ByuN's kind of pushing on creep right now, but I feel like once these mutas come out, Baneling speed is done. If Dark can just delay until 1-1, especially with Marines rallying across the map, seems so dangerous. Those Lings are going to go to the right side. These units coming forward. ByuN's trying to force him to fight. He's got 2 tanks in a good position. Those Marines, though, not really a match for those Queens. They're already heavily damaged unless the tanks can fire. Lings come in. Great mineral walk. SCVs get out of there. Marines and tanks with the SCVs should be able to take care of those Zerglings. Meanwhile, Marines shoving the front. Dude, ByuN. Dude, is ByuN actually just with this pressure going to be able to break through Dark? Dark's army supply is so low. He's not giving him time to get 1-1 upgrades. Dark was not able to buy time. Maybe that counterattack needed to come in earlier. He only got 3 SCVs with the counterattack. His Queens are going down. No way. ByuN, man. Turns out failed Hellbat timings are good, bro. Because Dark maybe just a bit too greedy afterwards. He's got 1,400 minerals in the bank. 1,400 minerals, no macro hatcheries. Oh no, Dark unable to spend his money, too slow to counterattack. And I gotta say, Dark should have, I think, been ahead after that, but got a bit too greedy, was not ready for the timing. And ByuN finishes off the series 2-1. I gotta go back and go, what? How? How did that happen? Oh! I mean, if we look at this stage, the pressure's done. The Banshee goes down. He did have decent barracks time. It's not like he committed too crazy. Like, he still gets his medevacs out with Marines across the map by about, what, 7 minutes? 7:20, something like that? And Dark drones pretty hard. 73 workers. Losing his 5th hatchery is kind of rough. And no macro hatchery going down is also pretty big for him. He's also not got a queen in his main or his natural... Oh, gosh, Dark. You guys know how Dark always leaves all of his queens on one control group? Look at his injects. He's not injecting his main. Like, he's sending queens from the front to inject the main, and then he cancels it because the army arrives. Oh, this is like that rare case where... You know, Dark has some of the best mouse accuracy, speed, micro, and ability to just play the game in the world. But his mechanical systems are very, very lazy. And you can see here, he goes to inject now, but what's the bet? He pulls that queen back to the front again. Oh, he's going to let it go. Okay, he lets her inject this time, but he's already missed so many injects in this main base. And that's at least he queues it. He does queue it to double inject, which is good. But definitely, that's super costly. Especially when you've lost your 5th base and you've missed multiple injects in the main, and then you haven't counterattacked here. With this build, guys, when you go mutas and you delay your upgrades this bad, because his mutas aren't even that early. He should have had his evos faster, but he was so distracted by the Hellbats. You want to just buy that extra 40 seconds, 50 seconds from now. If he'd link counterattacked sooner, Marines were rallying across. He could have really forced a bigger reaction, and then rather than fighting with the Zerglings, that would have delayed this push a little bit, brought it in, and then flanked the army from 2 sides. But letting this tank get this position, that tank position is brutal. Look at this tank and how much damage it does there. That tank is so useful, man. Anytime the Banes or the Queens come forward even a little bit, that tank is just firing and firing and firing. And look at it, it's getting so much damage. That siege tank is brutal, man. Wow, GG, well played. Hats off to ByuN for making that work from what felt like a pretty bad opening with the Hellbat Banshee. Hats off to Dark for defending the Hellbat Banshee as well as he did. But Dark a little bit too sloppy in the macro follow-up. GG, well played. ByuN wins 2-1.